All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Behind me is my car up on jack stands, and I moved the hood up to the service support kind of space, so that's cool, lots of room, and here we go. I'm as interested to see where this goes as hopefully you folks are too. I've taken a lot of cars apart. I've never taken the motor and transmission out of an S2000 before, so I'm about to do that. So, I don't know, let's see how it goes. Okay, as I said, the car is up on, the hood sport rather is up on the service thing. Nice to have that. Car is off on 4 jack stands. I took one wheel off. I'm going to take the rest off. And here we go. As I say, I'm pretty excited to see what happens here. If you're new to my videos, new to my channel, etc., etc., I've had this awesome car for like 13 years almost now. It's got 180,900 and some kilometers on it now, so it's due for a clutch because it's on its original clutch. And it needs brakes, and I should repair the rust on that battery tie down. Needs a lot of crap. So I'm gonna rip into it, and I'm starting here, and I'm gonna take you folks along with me, and also this will serve as a really handy way for me to remember where shit goes when I forget when it comes time to put this thing together. Plans. What you gotta do now is I have to take off all the plastic under tray parts so I can get to the radiator drain plug and everything else I'm gonna need to get into under there. So I'm gonna pause the video, I'll take all that crap off, and then you'll see me from the upside. Alright, so looks like a lot. Not a lot's actually happened. All I've done is I drained the coolant, which is super handy because that little butterfly thing down there, that white thing way down there. Let's pull it out real quick. Make sure you have a bucket underneath. You can see I spilled some. And then I took the top rad hose off just to help it drain out, and kind of burped it a little to get a little more out. So far so good. You know, there might be some left in the motor, but I'll wipe that up after. And then I just took out the airbox, which is looks like a big hole, but it's actually pretty simple to do. It's a couple of bolts. Oh, there's one. I actually dropped that one when I took it out last time. You really just have one bolt here, one bolt there, and then nothing on the inside, and then just like some of these hoses are snapped to the back of it, which if you look at it actually right here, you see there's a few of these things where things would be, and then this is the one that I put the screw back in so that I didn't lose it, and that was the one that came off of this thing here. See, that's right there. So again, looks like a lot, pretty damn simple to be honest. Now the hard part is figuring out where the rest of this stuff goes. Now I did say that I have the actual S2000, 2000 to 2003 shop manual, the one that the technicians use, so that's going to be super handy. I don't think there's a ton of crap I'm going to have to take out here, but we'll see. Okay, a little tip here, when you're taking your throttle cable off, it sits in here with these double nuts, so one's on either side. And I thought, all right, I'll loosen this one and back it off and then wiggle it out. But of course it can't because that gap is too thick. But look what they have here, these smart engineers. They leave a little gap there. So I taped this one off here so I know how far to put it back. And then I just spun this one all the way down, past the gap onto these threads, and then I pulled it in and out of there. And then just so that I keep it, I spun it back up to that one, right where I've got it locked. So when it comes time to put it back on, I simply do the same thing. And then as long as it hits right there, then my throttle cable should be just fine. Okay, a little more tutorial here, and also for my own memory, I have to remove these because they're connected to the part of the, I think this is the evap canister, although it doesn't look big enough. That's what the manual tells me, but either way, these two tiny little holes or hoses are connected to this, which will come down with the motor when it comes out. So I gotta take these two things off because I'm gonna leave them just over the cross member here. And I need to remember which is which. So kind of clean one on the top, not so clean one on the bottom. Maybe I'll mark them. But all right, holy crap. It doesn't look like a lot's changed, but kind of halfway through day one rather. This thing has never been apart before. It's an 02, as you folks know. A lot of stuck bolts, rusty bolts, but all that being said, I've made some good progress. Let's just see, run through my list of what I've done. Gear shift knob and cover, that's easy. Underneath the car, the 4x10 mil bolts that hold the I guess the gear shift kind of surround thing, so that's going to come out. The exhaust, the catalytic converters come undone real easy. I removed the line from the clutch slave cylinder. I'm leaving the cylinder on the gearbox as I'm dropping it. I'm just removing the line from the body, obviously. Plugs and ECU are out through, they're right there. Actually, I can even show you those. Pulled them through that damn little hole down there, which is a pain in the ass, and I removed some things here. Let me show you like this. Stupid thing There we go. This, so it a little more room to reach your hands under there, because man, I'm losing some skin and some blood under there. Rad hoses out, all the shit that lives up front here. Rad hoses, heater core hoses. I actually have to go and get a pair of needle nose pliers. I can't quite reach that, but the air compressor, the AC compressor down there, is loose. I haven't removed it yet because I don't really know how I'm going to do that yet. I may yank the alternator, and then the bracket here, probably, let's see, this thing, and then maybe this is just an idler. It looks like, well, clearly it is, so I can take all that off, and then I can get the, you can see it wiggling down there if you can, the AC line out, because I don't want to crack any of these hoses and have to go and drain and refill the R134. So after I do that, I gotta go and get into, I want to take the heater hoses out from under here. There's just a mess of hoses here. Most of them are free, but if I can, you know, this is the upper, this is the lower. I gotta do this one here, and I'm gonna do the one back there for the heater hose. Otherwise, this heater hose is off, brake booster hose is off, all those things. So I gotta go get some tools for that. And can you believe it? I don't have a 14 mil wrench. Of all the tools I freaking have over here, I've either lost it or who knows. Engine ground underneath. No, I was just thinking, I've got a list here. I did that one. I kept that on because I'm actually going to remove the whole cross member, I think. I've seen people do this online, and they don't need to take the the wheels and suspension with that cross member, but from being underneath this thing, I see that that's the only way they're hooked up. So I gotta do a little more research. I'm sure you folks know that. You could tell me I don't know that yet. Gonna go underneath and have a look, and go online and do some more research, and then get back at her. Maybe not today, but hopefully either tomorrow or the next weekend. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me, folks.